All right, Architecture 1. This video, I am going to go over the pier, or the actual piers and the pier footings. And this is part 3, by the way, part 3 of the pier and beam foundation video. Now, as I place these, I'm really just going to evenly space them out. But there are charts and graphs that give us information about, as far as footings, the piers, how far apart they should be spaced, basically based on load calculations. All right, but we're not going over load calculations in this lesson. We want to get it drafted out, take care of that, and then we'll do some load calculation stuff in a later lesson. All right, so what I'm going to do, and this would be pretty much on target for this foundation. That's the reason I drew a 50 by 30 foundation, because I kind of know where the piers and everything go. Okay, so all I'm going to do, since I'm going to place 2 piers, I'm going to place a pier right about here and one right about here. So what I'm doing is I'm dividing this space into three parts. Okay, so it's essentially what I'm doing. So I'm going to take the nominal, I could measure just the inside distance, but I'm just going to take the nominal distance and calculate that. So it's 50 foot, clear this. So we got a 50 foot wide foundation overall. Okay, and I'm going to divide by 3. Okay, because there's going to be 3 spaces. And then that equals, okay, 16.6, and then it just keeps going. Okay, so we're going to round that up to 16.7. All right, that's how much space we're going to put between our piers. Okay, so 16.7. And the easiest way to do that, to get good distributive spacing, I don't want to lock that over there and take it back over here, is to start just with like a little construction line. I'm just going to use a plain line style. I'm going to find the center. Oops. I want to find the center here. Okay. All right. So the center of the inside wall, I'm going to do 16.7 feet. And then just kind of draw a little vertical line there so it marks it a little better. And I'm going to do the same thing, or I can actually just mirror this. Okay, so now I've got both spots marked. Right there on that corner is where those piers are going to be. Now I'm going to draw the footing. Okay, now the footing, of course, again, that's going to be determined by an engineer as far as footing size and thickness and everything else. We're just going to go by it with a 24 by 24. Okay, so 24 inches, tab over 24 inches. I'm going to move that and find the center. It's going to be best to move it by the center. That way you can just lock it right there on that corner. And that one is in place. Now I'm going to mirror that again, or I could copy it, do copy, and then find the center point, and then just place it right over here. So those are both of the footings. Hold on just one moment. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is put the actual piers. Those are the footings. I'm going to put the actual piers. So my piers, I'm going to use a rectangle again, and I'm just going to use a 4x4, a 4-inch tab, 4-inch wooden pier. Now it's going to go between the floor system, and I'm going to move that. It's going to be between the floor system and the actual footing. And then I'm going to copy. Okay, and now I can get rid of these construction lines. And I'm going to take these footings and turn them into the hidden lines, just like that. Okay, and lastly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the beam that stretches across, and it's just drawn with a center line. And again, you want to come down here to Other, and click on Load, and then look for Center. Okay, and I think I just used this regular center right here. Yeah, I did. That's what it looks like right there. Okay, so once you get that loaded, then you can select the line tool and come over here to, or actually I think you do this first. Click on center line, and yeah, it might still draw as a center line, but that's cool. All right, and then we're going to find the center and draw that all the way across. Okay, so there is our beam, our primary support beam going under the house. Next thing what I'm going to do is draw the pilasters at each end. And I just really have to draw it once and then duplicate it. Okay, so the pilaster in this case, okay, it's going to be, you know, it kind of follows a few rules of thumb too. Because we have an 8-inch wall, it's actually going to stick out 8 inches from the wall. Okay, so I'm going to draw a line that is 8 inches. Oops, and I drew it at an angle. I did not mean to do that. So just kind of draw a line, 8 inches, and then draw it up vertically so you get that placement right there so you can see it. If not, it's just going to be hidden down here below the center line. All right, and I'm also going to draw it 16 inches wide. So I'm going to select that line, or not yet. I want to do my offset first. Do an 8-inch offset. And we're going to offset it 8 inches to each side, which makes it a total of a 16-inch pilaster. Okay, and now what I can do is come down here. I can actually delete the center line if I really don't want it or need it anymore. I don't have to delete it because it's really, you can't see it. I'm going to use the extend tool. Extend there, then I'm going to extend again there. Okay, and then I'm going to use the trim tool. Trim out these lines right there. Okay, so there is a pilaster. And then I'm just going to mirror it to the other side. Make sure I get all the lines selected. Select mirror. Find the center of the whole foundation. Draw that down and then click no because I don't want to delete the source object. So now I have that pilaster at both ends. Okay, so that's what the beam is going to sit on at both ends. Okay, so let's see, next video will be the placement of the vents. And I'll show you how I did that. You might have a different way of doing it. The main thing is that you get the adequate amount of space for your vents as far as the opening space, and that you kind of distribute them with some sort of symmetry. And there's actually another little piece of code that I did not write down in your notes, which we're going to cover that too.